Anika Noni Rose is a Tony Award-winning Broadway and Hollywood star who is back on the boards in the acclaimed off-Broadway staging of Carmen Jones at Classic Stage Company. Hear the powerhouse talk about getting to finally play her dream role in the John Doyle directed revival, how she connected with Coco in Fame as a high school freshman, memories of Dreamgirls, Caroline or Change, and so much more on this week's Show People. Welcome, Anika.
Thank you.
So good to see you.
Happy to be in your lair.
You're in the lair, and I love. Make yourself comfortable.
I did.
I'm into that. I'm totally into that. I love that. I wish I could sit like that, but you look better doing it. I'm loving this Carmen Jones production, and I've actually loved this show for a long time. Didn't they do it in London in the 90s, and there was like a cast recording of it? And I remember I just fell in love with the score, and I was always like, why don't they do this show? And now they are, and you're in it. I'm thrilled.
They are, and I'm in it, and I'm also thrilled. I'm very happy about it. It's something I've been trying to get done for a really long time, for years. I mean, I'm on record in interviews.
Yeah.
What would it
mentioned
take
it as
to
a dream
bring you
role.
back? I was like, Carmen Jones. I've gone to London. We'd love to have you here. What would you like to do? Carmen Jones. Oh! Silence. And I had just about given up. I was like, well, maybe it's not going to happen. And then I heard through the grapevine that John Doyle and CSC had gotten the rights to it. And I was like, jump on it. Because it's been something I've wanted to do my whole career. And, sometimes the universe just sort of comes together when things are supposed to be. Like you want something to be, and it's just not time yet.
Right.
So I think it's the perfect time. John Doyle is fantastic. We've got a wonderful cast. It's an amazing setup there in the round, which is very
close
different.
to people.
Very
You were
close.
staring at me at one point.
Very
I told you that.
intimate.
Like, I'm sure you were just staring off, but it's close. It's close.
And yet you managed to walk away. Amazing.
Now, didn't you play Cindy Lou in
I
Carmen
did.
Jones
We did a
year?
mufti thing,
Oh,
so that's
musicals in
sort of
Mufti.
like
okay,
2
right,
days.
at the York
Yeah.
Theater. Right, okay.
And I Cindy Lou'd, but I didn't. It was very new to me, and even then I was like, "Are you sure?" Because I really think I'm Carmen, and they were like, "Yeah, but you look 3, so you're gonna Cindy Lou today." But I've always loved this piece. I've always loved the movie, and the
great
opera
Dorothy
is
Dandridge.
just stunning with the amazing Dorothy Dandridge. I listened to Callis and her interpretation of the opera, and she damn near yodels at one point. Like, she uses so many different places in her voice, and it's a really thrilling thing to be able to do.
You were looking for a sexy yodeling part.
Yeah, I was
Everyone
like,
is.
how can I yodel but not be in the Alps? How will that work?
Carmen is a sexy woman. You walk on stage, the red dress. I mean, you look phenomenal.
Thank you.
You're owning it, and especially in that small space, you're such a presence. I mean,
Thank you.
it's stunning. Is it easy for you to embody all that?
I think that the thing about sexiness is that I don't think it's about putting something on. I think it's about letting things go. I think it's about being completely comfortable within your person and not putting something on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Allowing your entire essence to just free itself and take space. And so I think that that's the thing about her that people, men, find completely irresistible, is that she does let her essence take all the space that it needs to take. And sadly, for some, if you don't, make room for yourself, you get swallowed up. That's the thing. She's this burning flame as she moves through life.
Have you negotiated keeping the red dress beyond the run?
Somebody else just asked me that. I didn't. I haven't yet, but I know that Anne has several in the back.
Oh, good. There's extras. Okay.
There are extras.
One could disappear.
One could find its way into a pocket. Who knows?
There's backup dresses. Okay, that's good.
Oh yes, because every now and then we have a quick change that's actually quite quick, and every now and then the zipper will be crazy. Hidden zippers are the worst. And so one show we were pulling it up and we were like, all right, we're ready to go. And the whole thing split from the middle.
Oh.
So we have about 5 dresses.
Wow.
Because no one has time for that.
It's what, cast of 10?
Yes.
I mean, this musical can be done huge.
This musical is meant to be done.
Right, and originally on Broadway in the
it's an
40s, it
opera.
was a big Broadway musical.
Yeah.
And so John Doyle, it's kind of like what he did with Color Purple. Big musical, and then John Doyle sort of gave us the the stripped down, more character driven, more, you know what I mean, focused it, and different approaches. But that's definitely the John Doyle approach. Are you digging that? And what is that? What do you think that does for Carmen Jones?
You know why I'm digging it? Because it's working. Because
Exactly.
it works.
Yeah.
He's a minimalist, and you know, if he were the chef, he'd be like boiling it down to get to the jus. And he does it well because I don't think we're missing anything.
No.
You know, and these voices that are on stage are fantastic voices, so it's very, very full. He is somebody who likes to get to the root of what's happening, which is fantastic. Because it's very easy to, you know, throw a lot of flowers on it and juju it up, and really it's about the crux of the story and the root of the matter, and that's what I think his specialty is, and it allows it to be very streamlined, and it allows you to go home. Which is also nice to not be in a 3-hour situation.
Right. Yes.
Which is great.
You talk about phenomenal voices. Yours is one of them, and you won a Tony Award for Carolina Change. Congratulations. That was a very exciting moment. And you've come back to Broadway, but you've been like doing Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Raisin in the Sun, fantastic performances, but I wanted to hear you sing. So I'm thrilled that you're singing again, and your voice sounds incredible.
Thank you.
Are you always singing, even if we're not hearing it?
No.
No, really?
Oh, no, I'm not one of those people who sings all the time. I think I used to be, and I just sort of have fallen out of that. So I don't sing as much as I used to.
But it's still there. It's there. Was it easy to jump back in?
It's easy to jump back in because singing is something that is part of my person. You know what I mean? It's never not there, even if I'm not performing.
Right.
But for this, you know, I'm not an opera singer. So I trained myself to be able to do this opera because I wanted to do it justice and I wanted to do it well. And I'm a perfectionist and I don't like to be embarrassed and I don't like to embarrass anybody else. So it was really about focusing and working very hard and learning the music before I got to rehearsal so that I wouldn't be thinking about the technique of the thing. I could just then do the other work that was around it and live through it. So.
Well, you're doing it well.
Thank you.
I loved it. I loved just hearing those sounds come out of your mouth.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Anika Noni Rose. And we are back with Anika Noni Rose, currently starring in Carmen Jones off-Broadway. Beautiful production. Yes, so you grew up in Connecticut.
Yes.
You did fame as a freshman in high school, right? And I'm sure, like, being a freshman, you don't necessarily get, but it sounds like you got, like, the juicy part.
You know, I did get the juicy part, but I got it by default. I will have to say, they did not cast me in the lead because I was a freshman.
Oh, see? I knew that. I knew there was issues.
Yeah, there was an issue, but Kendra had work study, and so I ended up being the lead,
Oh,
and I was
thank you,
very
Kendra.
excited.
So-
Thank you, Kendra.
Thank you,
I still
Kendra.
love
Shout
you.
out to Kendra.
Thank you for work study. And it was really great because I don't know how long it would have taken for me to realize that this is what I wanted to do. I mean, that was pretty late. Most of the people that you talk to are like, yeah, no, I started ballet when I was 6, and nah.
Right.
And I'm just not that person.
What were you into before that?
Sports and a book. I did all the sports you could do. I ran track, I was in the band, I played sax, I played trumpet when I marched, and
Overachiever? You've
no,
always seemed very
I was
focused.
rounded. I was
Okay.
well-rounded.
Okay, well-rounded, okay. Okay. But if I had asked you, like, at age 13, like, what do you think you'll be when you grow up? What do you think you would have said?
A veterinarian.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't have made it.
you gotta take care. Well, you gotta.
No, the moment the animal was crying, I'd have been crying. Like, forget it.
But, yeah.
And I have a math problem, so I probably would have killed somebody with medicine. That poor little cat wouldn't have made it. Wouldn't have made it. Like, they said 3 milliliters, and then you just had to divide it by the weight. And I was like, I did, but it died. Like, it wouldn't have worked out.
It's rough.
This is
It's
a
rough.
much better choice.
Yeah. And so I'm confused. Were you Coco or Carmen?
Coco.
Because Coco in the movie, it was Coco? Because I thought in the musical it's Carmen.
No.
Oh, Coco. Okay. The tragic Coco from the, Coco's the role.
Très joli Coco. Yeah.
Coco. Okay. And did you jump on cafeteria tables? And
No.
no, you didn't get to do that.
We managed not to jump on a table.
Okay.
We did move from the stage to the floor.
Oh,
which was a big
where
deal.
down by the audience was.
Yeah,
Oh, you
which was
got
a
them
big deal.
riled up.
Moving for hot lunch.
Oh, hot lunch, nice. Okay, with their trays.
Did it. And it was interesting because it was high school. And you know, high school's rough. People are mean.
Yep.
People are mean. Let's not pretend they're not. Y'all were mean in high school. All y'all. Everybody in this room was mean in high school. I wasn't. But, so, you know, in a performance situation, high school students are rough. And I was singing Out Here on My Own.
Oh, good song.
And you could have heard a pin drop. And it didn't occur to me until later that it had been completely silent while I was singing this song. And I had never felt anything like I felt when I was on stage before. I had never felt anything like that. And I stopped doing everything else except breathing. But I pulled out of every other anything that I was doing because it didn't make me feel the same way. Now, I was also stiff as a board. So, like, I was singing my face off, but I couldn't really quite move. Didn't really want to move too much while I was singing, and didn't really want you to look at me, actually, while I was singing. So it was very interesting. But I knew that was it, and I recognized it.
So then did that mean you did more musicals during high school?
No. I did one more play. I did a lot of lip sync competitions. I was a fierce Janet Jackson. And
You said lip sync?
I did a lot of lip syncing because it was fun.
Lip syncing?
Mm-hmm.
But you have a beautiful
Yeah,
voice.
everybody had lip sync competitions. It was fun.
Okay, lip
So
syncing.
basically you were dancing and pretending to be somebody else. But I didn't have an arts program in the school. We had a band, but we didn't have an arts program. So
Right.
I actually went to Weaver High School to do the Whiz.
Oh,
And because I was from the rival high school, they wouldn't let me be Dorothy.
we've all been, by the way,
Nerve.
I've been waiting to see you do Dorothy since, like, forever. Because that name has been attached to you for...
Because I was cast as Dorothy for ABC
I know, you're supposed to do the TV.
years
I
ago,
know, you're
right?
supposed to do a
And then
movie,
they
I
were
know.
like,
I didn't mean to
"Oop,
bring
we
it
don't
up,
have
so
the
I'm still
rights."
upset. I haven't seen it.
That didn't work out.
So
Yeah,
they
you
wouldn't let
never
you be
has.
Dorothy, so who were
They
you?
wouldn't let me be Dorothy, so I had to be doggone Auntie M.
Oh.
I think I was the tiniest person on stage talking about, "Put your arms around me, child." I was so disappointed.
Your shin. Yeah,
I was
could
so
do it.
disappointed. Yeah, I remember y'all.
And then you went to school down in Florida. So you finally were like, this is what I want to do, performing.
Yeah.
Right? So you went to the...
I went to Florida A&M,
Right, okay.
and I majored in theater,
Right.
which means that I did everything.
You got a lot of opportunity down there?
Well, I did things, but I also did costuming, and I did directing, and I
Yeah.
took lighting, and so I did everything, and I really learned about how the theater worked around me, which I'm very thankful for, because I feel like it's very easy for actors to feel like every single thing is about them.
Right.
And it's just not. There are a lot of things happening around us for us to make our lives easier.
Right.
I really loved doing everything that I got to do. I loved creating sets. I loved directing. And I was stage managed for a minute. Never. I don't know how they do it. I have so much respect for them. Like the fifth time I watched me do something, and then the actor's like, "So where did I put that cup?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's the fifth time. I'm done." So that stage management thing was not for me. But I'm very grateful, because I think that it has served me well as I move into film and television and other things, because I just have an appreciation for what people are doing and why they're doing it and how they're doing it, and the fact that it makes my life much, much easier.
And then you ended up out in San Francisco,
Yes.
and you were working at ACT, right?
I went to ACT. I studied drama. So I got my MFA there, and really focused on what it was that I wanted to do.
You started winning awards, too. You started getting
A
recognized.
couple
Some awards,
Some
yeah.
awards.
Some acting awards, yeah.
I did. I got some acting awards there, and I was very clear about how I wanted to take my journey. I mean, I graduated with my class. I had the option to go to LA or New York, and I chose to stay there. And I stayed for 2 years after I graduated to work.
Wow.
And to just be on the stage and to find my legs and to be criticized in an arena that wouldn't kill me if that's what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm just being on stage professionally for the first time, suppose I'm not as good as I want to be. Do I want to be murdered in the New York Times in that moment? No.
Yeah.
I want to do this here and find my legs and figure out how to move. And it so happened that I did some really good shows. I was really lucky. I met Tony Kushner very early and did a Tony Kushner show.
Of course, wound up writing Carolina Change.
And I vaguely, oddly, was reviewed by the Wall Street Journal while I was doing a show in San Francisco. So, and it sort of ushered me in to New York in a kinder way, I think, than jumping off of the school boat with the rest of the 100,000 people who graduated in that moment and be like, hi, I'm here, I'm new, I'm fresh, I'm ready, I'm great. And then being told, no, you're not.
You just said another 1,000 people, and now I'm going to have to go run and watch you sing another 100 people on YouTube. Anyway, more because I just love it. Anyway, more with Anika Noni Rose after this break. We are back with Anika Noni Rose. The nice thing about having you sitting here is that I've pretty much seen your entire theater career in New York because I've seen everything. I saw Eli's Come. I didn't see you as Rusty in Footloose. I wish I did. Let's hear it for the boy.
That was fun.
I'm sure that was fun.
It was a very nice entryway to Broadway. It was just fun.
How'd you get it? Did you nail it at the audition?
Yeah, I just auditioned.
Just sang the crap out of that song?
I think so. I don't remember what I sang. What I do remember is AC, the choreographer, and I was like, yeah, this is great. And she doesn't dance a lot because there was heavy dance in Footloose. And I was like, this is great. So I can just do my song. And he was like, oh no, you're going to dance. I was like, but she didn't. She wasn't.
I'm here for Rusty.
Remember, because I saw it, and that's not what she was doing. And he was like, no, but you can dance, and you're going to dance. And he put me through it, like 2 weeks of rehearsal and on that stage.
Wow.
It was a wake up. It was terrifying, actually, but like really exciting. But somebody was asking me about it recently. And when I did that first show on my mother's birthday, I was hyperventilating.
Oh my God.
Because I was singing and I was dancing and I was so excited and I was breathing with my mouth open. And my throat got dry, like my throat got really, really dry. You know how your throat gets dry and you get that stupid hitchy cough?
Yeah, but not when I'm on stage with people staring at me.
Not cute, right? So they didn't know, but I got through my song. And I'm like, hey, from the back. And at the end, I was like, through the rest of the show, like a small puppy.
Oh my.
So I don't breathe with my mouth open on stage when I'm dancing hard anymore.
Amazing. And I saw you in Eli's Come, which was the Laura Nero review at the Vineyard, which was fantastic. Girl, I even saw Me and Mrs. Jones in Philadelphia.
Your heart.
Yeah, and you know, when Broadway.com first started, you were sort of doing every reading. I remember anytime a new musical came around, I was like, well, Nika's going to be in it.
I was the reading queen.
I mean,
the guy was in a reading.
You were doing like everything.
I was.
Yeah. Did you feel like, oh, this is good? I'm like, something's gonna click.
There were a lot of new things happening at that time. So I think it was a very creative period.
Yeah.
And things were just happening. And I don't know that I don't know what I was thinking. I was just happy that somebody wanted me in something and they were interesting pieces. And it was fun, and I was new to New York. So I just knew that I wanted to be in this city and doing something that could be seen in this city. And I remember there were several times when they were like, oh, I would audition for something. They'd be like, we'd love for you to go on tour. And I was like, not so much. Nope. Gonna be right here until something clicks.
And like you said, The Wiz was supposed to happen. And then I remember you were in like a Nike musical called Ball.
I sure was.
Remember that?
Look at
you. I like your
you.
credits. That happened for a long time. And then Carolina Change came to you.
Now, mind you, Carolina Change had actually been going on for like 3 years.
Before you got.
So we had.
Or you were.
We were workshopping it.
Yeah, you famously said in your Tony
it.
speech, Tony winner, that you said famously in your Tony speech that you'd been doing it without getting paid for readings.
We got paid, but it was an off-Broadway workshop. But what we did get was friends that I still talk to, the joy of working with Tony Kushner and George Wolfe and Janine Tesori, which I can't even tell you how great that was. And it was the first time that I had done something from page to stage.
Yeah.
Like, how amazing is that to be able to do that? And Tony, they originally called me in to be the radio, because there were all these inanimate objects in this show.
Yeah.
And so it was crazy and very exciting. And my character in the beginning, I think, was only in one act of the play. And by the time we finished, Tony, every time we came back, Tony had written some more for her and some more for her. And it was really an amazing, exciting thing. I had no idea that I would even be nominated for a Tony, never mind winning it. Like it was mind-blowing.
Obviously, you worked with the great Tanya Pinkins. And can you ever imagine yourself playing Caroline?
It would be a while. I don't know.
Later, I don't know.
I don't know.
You're more of an
I'm not
Emmy,
going to
but-
say no.
Sure.
I'll say that. I'm not
Exactly.
going to say
John
no.
Doyle may have some idea. Who knows? Of course, you were in DREAMGIRLS, the big moment and a very exciting moment for your Broadway fans. It's always exciting when they cast one of ours, as we like to think, in a role like Laurel. Now, you just sang a little bit, Let's Hear It for the Boy, which, by the way, thank you, because I missed that performance. I've always wanted to hear you sing Ain't No Party.
Yeah.
That's like the song, that's Laurel's song that wasn't in the movie. Did you ever sing it or record it, or
No.
do you have any secret? Do you want to
I
sing it now, or
auditioned
do we
with
have a musical
it,
company waiting outside?
You got there ready? Yes, I knew you were married when I met you. Tell myself that's the way it's got to be. But after all these years, the best of my life has become a catastrophe.
Thank you so much for that, by the way.
And
Thank
that's
you.
like
that actually,
morning singing
that
for
that
you
was
here.
fantastic. Thank you for that. You actually did it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I ask people to sing something and they just ignore me and go on to the next question.
Because they don't want to give you morning singing. But, it was a fantastic experience. And I was really crushed when I didn't get to do my song. But it's on the DVD.
I think I have that DVD.
Is
so
there?
yeah, okay. All right, I'm gonna go and do that. So obviously you were up there with amazing cast, but Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson. Do people always ask you about, like, did you girls get along? Is that like a tired thing? Is that
It is tired. I'm so glad you asked me. It is a tired question, but we did get along and we blended really well. Like our voices blended really well. And we didn't sing together in audition, so you didn't know that was going to be the
Bill
case.
Condon just somehow figured it out.
It just happened to work out. But I remember we were doing a rehearsal, and I don't remember what song we were singing, and we all sort of went,
That sounds good.
this is nice. So yeah, we were lucky in that way. And I was really lucky because, what a welcome to screen. Hi, Anika, we'd like for you to do exactly what you do. We'll just add a camera. You know what I mean? Like, that's such a blessing to be able to step into that world that way.
We're already running out of time and there's so much to talk to you about, but of course you are a Disney legend. Yeah, you're a Disney legend. The Princess and the Frog, you're Tiana. And isn't it true that your voice is in the Wreck-It Ralph sequel?
We're all in this
They
new
did that
Wreck-It
funny,
Ralph.
I saw it in the trailer, they did that funny thing with all the Disney princesses.
Yes.
That must have been cool. I mean, it's like a good regular thing. Tiana keeps coming back to you.
Thank
right?
God.
For little gigs, right? Like,
we
need
like
Tiana.
when we get to return.
Yeah, hello, I mean, that's good.
Yes, it is. And it was a great time creating Princess Tiana, and it was really a blessing, and it continues to be such. Like I continue to meet children who are like wide-eyed and thrilled about it, and quite as it's kept, grown people who are wide-eyed and thrilled about it. So it really is a gift and a blessing.
Tell me about Roaring Virgins Productions.
Just one virgin. Roaring Virgin.
Roaring Virgin. Roaring Virgin Productions. This is your production company.
That's my production
Tell me
company.
how you named it.
I'm a Virgo. So there's the Virgo, the
Okay.
Virgin. And it's time to roar. It's time to be heard
Okay.
in different ways.
So it's a sexy name that's not really sexy. It's more.
Right.
Okay, I like that. It's cute.
Yeah.
And you've been like snapping up the rights to things.
I have.
Yeah, you want to be a producer.
Yes.
You've been doing a lot of film and TV. You're always on something. You work a lot out in Hollywood. So what makes you now want to sort of turn it and be the roaring virgin in the room?
It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and there have been several things that I've wanted to get the rights to, but I think it's important to be at the helm of storytelling. I think that as an actor on stage, yes, we have much more control over what we're putting out, the product that we're giving. On film and TV, we the actors really don't have much control of that at all. And I really would like to be in control of a narrative, because it's not really about me being in it, but I bought the rights to several things that I will have nothing to do with as a visual. But I want to be able to create stories that talk to my heart and my spirit, and that speak to people who sometimes don't get their stories heard. And it's fun to do something different. It's fun to challenge yourself in a very different way, and I think it's important. For me, it's important. You know, I get bored with the same thing, and I don't get bored with what I do, but I get bored with the same thing, and it's important for me to challenge my mind, to challenge my intellect as I move forward. Otherwise, what are you doing? You're not growing. You're just turning into mulch, and that mulch might be really helpful to assist somebody else's growth, but it's important for you to remember your own growth as well, and so that's what I'm looking at.
I love it. I can't wait to see where that goes.
Thank you.
And I'm thrilled that right now the story you're telling is Carmen Jones.
Yes.
Through August 19th.
Yes.
Down at Classic Stage Company. It's a beautiful, fantastic production, and this lady here, she's singing. I mean, you sound incredible,
Thank you.
And it's just a beautiful performance. So I hope we get to see you do more singing on the Broadway stage soon.
Thank you very much. It's good to be home.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.